Thomas.
Yeah, they're not going to look at this. They might.
It's got the fans here fired up.
In a time when basketball is changing at lightning speed, few names capture the excitement quite like Caitlin Clark. This rising star hasn't just arrived, she's exploded onto the scene, bringing a mix of skill, swagger, and spark that's shaking up the WNBA. With fearless confidence and jaw-dropping plays, Clark is doing more than just scoring points. She's rewriting what it means to compete at the highest level. Her impact isn't just about stats or flashy highlights. It's about heart, grit, and the courage to rewrite the rules. From day one, Caitlin Clark has been on a mission, not just to play the game, but to elevate it. Her journey is a bold reminder that greatness comes from breaking barriers and never backing down.
Indiana leads by 11 with 5:48 remaining in.
Caitlin Clark's impact on basketball isn't just impressive, it's impossible to ignore. Her creative game style and unstoppable drive have lit a fire that goes well beyond the three-point line. She's not only changing how the game is played, but also inspiring a new generation of athletes and earning the respect of basketball legends along the way. When Caitlin first stepped into the spotlight, there were plenty of doubters. Many wondered if her college stardom would carry over to the pros, but instead of folding under the pressure, she used the criticism as fuel, turning doubt into dominance and silencing critics with every game.
Clark, harassed by Carrington, finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Carrington.
From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a professional court, the conversation began to shift. Game after game, she silenced critics, not with words, but with breathtaking performances that spoke volumes. Her unique blend of composure, creativity, and high-level skill left even the most seasoned analysts speechless and fans on the edge of their seats. At a time when the basketball world is packed with big personalities and even bigger expectations, Caitlin's rise stands out as something special. In an era dominated by highlight reels and constant media buzz, her ascent feels both refreshing and revolutionary. She's not just grabbing attention, she's changing the game. Caitlin Clark has become more than a star athlete. She's a symbol of possibility. Her presence offers hope and inspiration to an entire generation of young players, showing them that there's no single mold for greatness. She's rewriting the definition of what it means to be a modern-day superstar in women's basketball. And she's doing it on her own terms. But her story isn't just about lights-out shooting and flashy passes. It's about grit. It's about overcoming the doubts that followed her from college to the pros. Even with early success, there were still those who questioned whether her fearless style could withstand the physical grind and mental pressure of the WNBA. Critics whispered, doubters lingered, and yet Clark never flinched. Each challenge became another chance to prove herself, not just as a player, but as a leader, a fighter, and a trailblazer. Her impact reaches far beyond box scores and buzzer beaters. She's shifting the culture, pushing women's basketball into a brighter, bolder future where talent, tenacity, and authenticity shine just as brightly as legacy and tradition. Every great journey has its battles, and while Caitlin Clark's path has been lit with record-breaking moments, it's the trials along the way that are shaping her into something even more powerful, an icon built not just on hype, but on heart.
In this angle, I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
At first, the doubts came loud and fast. Skeptics questioned whether Caitlin Clark's flashy passes and deep three-point range could really hold up against the intensity of professional play. Was her bold style sustainable on the WNBA's toughest stage? Could a player who dazzled in college keep shining when the stakes and the competition got higher? But Caitlin didn't flinch. With every game, she turned those doubts into defining moments. Her long-range bombs became routine. Her court vision unlocked scoring chances for teammates no one else saw, and her fearless playmaking, once dismissed as risky, began to look like the future of the sport. Her skill was undeniable, but what truly set her apart was her drive. Teammates, opponents, and even basketball legends took notice, not just of her scoring, but of her relentless work ethic and leadership. She didn't just raise her own game, she lifted everyone around her. Soon, even her harshest critics had to admit it. Caitlin Clark wasn't just good for the game, she was redefining it. Her game brought a fresh, fearless energy to the league. Her style wasn't just exciting, it was effective, and it was exactly what modern basketball had been missing. And then came a moment that sent shockwaves across the basketball world. Michael Jordan, the very name synonymous with greatness, broke: his silence. Known for choosing his words carefully and speaking rarely on today's players, Jordan didn't just compliment Caitlin Clark, he called attention to something deeper. His words weren't just praise, they were a wake-up call. Jordan publicly acknowledged that Caitlin's influence had become so significant, it forced a serious rethinking of how the game is structured, played, and officiated. He didn't sugarcoat it. He addressed the elephant in the room, the way Clark was being treated on the court. In a moment that resonated through both the NBA and WNBA, Jordan stood behind her, not just as a fan of her talent, but as a defender of fairness and progress. And when someone of his stature speaks, the world listens. This wasn't just about one player anymore. It was about the future of the sport. When Michael Jordan speaks, the entire basketball world pays attention. So when he publicly called out the officiating Caitlin Clark has faced, it wasn't just a headline. It was a statement that shook the sport. Jordan didn't mince words. He pointed to moments where the calls, or lack thereof, seemed unfair, even biased. His message was clear. A player of Caitlin's caliber who brings so much to the game deserves to be protected, respected, and officiated with consistency. Anything less isn't just a disservice to her, it's a failure of the league. And coming from the greatest player to ever touch the hardwood, that kind of support carries massive weight. His remarks weren't just about one athlete, they were a challenge to the system. A call for the WNBA to take a hard look at how it treats its rising stars, and to do better. But Jordan wasn't alone. Steph Curry, known worldwide for revolutionizing the game with his long-range shooting, has been one of Caitlin Clark's most vocal supporters. And for him, this goes beyond admiration. It's personal. Curry sees in Clark something familiar. That same boldness, that willingness to pull up from anywhere, that confidence to reshape how basketball is played, one shot at a time. He's often drawn comparisons between their styles, two players fearless enough to turn the impossible into the expected. Steph hasn't just praised her shooting, he's praised her mindset. The swagger, the poise, the ability to take over a game and stretch the floor in ways most players wouldn't even attempt. His respect is genuine, and it's loud. And when two of the most iconic names in basketball, Jordan and Curry, go out of their way to stand behind Caitlin Clark, the message is undeniable. This isn't just hype. This is history in the making. Caitlin Clark isn't just earning respect. She's reshaping the landscape. And the legends are watching.
I'm sure you've seen Skylar Diggins assault Caitlin Clark after.
Kevin Durant knows greatness when he sees it, and when he speaks, it's with the weight of experience, success, and deep respect for the game. So when he praises Caitlin Clark, it's not just a passing compliment, it's a spotlight on something deeper. Durant sees in Caitlin what often gets overlooked beneath the flash of highlight reels and viral clips, the relentless grind. The countless hours in the gym, the quiet dedication to studying film, refining footwork, and sharpening instincts. To him, Caitlin Clark isn't just talented. She's tireless. He's spoken with admiration about her command of the floor, the way she draws defenders and still finds the open teammate in the perfect moment. It's not just scoring ability, it's court vision, decision-making, and an elite basketball IQ that sets her apart. That's what Durant respects most. The effort you don't see, the work that turns talent into transcendence. Coming from Durant, a generational player whose career has been built on equal parts skill and obsession with improvement, the praise means even more. He understands what it takes to stay at the top, and when he compares Caitlin Clark to the greats, it's because he genuinely sees her charting a similar path, not just rewriting stat sheets, but redrawing the boundaries of what's possible. Caitlin's rise from a promising rookie to a true game-changer has mirrored the trajectories of many NBA icons, but she's doing it in a way that's uniquely her own, carving out a legacy that feels both fresh and familiar. And as the game often echoes its legends, comparisons begin to emerge. Few are more fitting or more powerful than the one drawn. A line between Caitlin Clark and Allen Iverson. Like Iverson, Clark plays with heart-on-sleeve intensity. Like Iverson, she carries a chip on her shoulder and a fearlessness in her eyes. She doesn't just play the game, she challenges it, pushes it, dares it to evolve. Her influence is already undeniable. And with each game, each moment, Caitlin Clark isn't just chasing greatness. She's becoming one of the game's defining voices, echoing the past while shaping the future.
Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical. After
Allen Iverson didn't just play basketball, he transformed it. With his lightning-fast crossover, fearless scoring, and unapologetic presence, Iverson became a cultural icon, a symbol of defiance, creativity, and relentless drive. So when he speaks about Caitlin Clark, it's not just admiration, it's recognition. To Iverson, Caitlin is more than a rising star. She's a kindred spirit. Like him, she plays with an edge, a spark, a confidence that can't be taught, a game that doesn't fit inside a box. Iverson sees in her the same ability to take over a game, not just through buckets, but through sheer willpower and a style that bends the court to her rhythm. But what Iverson respects most isn't just her scoring, it's her ability to make everyone around her better. He's pointed out that true greatness isn't defined by numbers on a scoreboard, it's measured by impact, by how a player lifts their team, by how they see the floor, anticipate the moment, and create magic for others. And in that way, Caitlin Clark reminds him of himself, always drawing attention, always opening space, always changing the flow of the game. Iverson's reflections go beyond highlights. They go straight to the heart of what it takes to survive and thrive at the top. He speaks often of the mental toughness required to walk into hostile arenas and still deliver, of the pressure that never lets up, of the need to stay locked in, even when the world doubts you. Caitlin Clark, in his eyes, has that same grit, that same fire, that rare resilience that separates the good from the unforgettable. She's not just following in Iverson's footsteps, she's carving her own, all while carrying the same spirit that once electrified the league and changed it forever.
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball.
Caitlin Clark's rise from college star to WNBA sensation has drawn powerful comparisons, even from legends like Allen Iverson. He sees in her the same fire and fearlessness that once redefined the game in his own era. In Indiana, a state where basketball runs deep, her arrival has stirred massive excitement. Tyrese Halliburton, the Indiana Pacers' standout guard, has been one of her loudest supporters. From day one, he knew Clark would bring a new energy to the Fever, and he's seen it firsthand at games where her sharp shooting and court vision light up the arena. But perhaps the most telling shift has come from Shaquille O'Neal. At first, he had doubts about Clark's game translating to the pros. Now, he's a full-on believer. Shaq's change of heart shows just how undeniable Clark's impact has become. From fans to Hall of Famers, Caitlin Clark is winning over the basketball world, one game at a time.
He fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that, so I want to thank him for that.
Shaquille O'Neal, known for his larger-than-life presence both on and off the court, initially questioned whether Caitlin Clark's style, defined by deep-range shooting and flashy playmaking, could hold up in the physical grind of the WNBA. Like many seasoned observers, he was skeptical that her college dominance would seamlessly translate to the pro level. But as the games rolled on and Clark delivered performance after performance with unwavering focus, elite shot-making, and a surprisingly mature command of the floor, Shaq began to change his tune. In a candid appearance on Angel Reese's podcast, he admitted that watching her consistently rise to the moment had forced him to reconsider. Her ability to lead, adapt, and impact games under pressure dismantled his doubts piece by piece. What started as hesitation eventually gave way to admiration, proof that Clark wasn't just living up to the hype, but reshaping what the next generation of women's basketball could look like.